Hello there and welcome back to Meal Kit Reviews. Something of a rarity for me, a knife review. I like everybody, we all like a knife, we all use a knife, right? But it's always a question of which one you buy. There's so many of them out there. You know me by now, I'm a big fan of 511 kit, and I thought, well, let's have a good close look at what we got here and see, you know, whether it stands up to the brilliant quality that we find with the other products of theirs. So I had a good look through the range, and believe me, it's an ever-growing range, right? And I selected the CS2 Spearpoint Plain Edge. Right, now I'm not going to bore you to tears with me waffling. Let's get down to what this knife actually is. Right, for a start off, it is absolutely razor sharp when you get it out of the box, right? Which makes a very pleasant change, because a lot of the knives that I've had in the past, it really does leave a lot to be desired when you try and cut something with them. So, but I can guarantee you one thing: I just haven't had to touch this. I've had this now about a month or so, and it has been used a lot. Right, it hasn't even managed to scratch the coating on the blade, right, which I'm very, very impressed with, and I'm quite chuffed with that. Right, but when you get your knife, it comes in this box, and I was quite surprised to find, right, inside, right, a little plastic bag with a spare set of screws in there, and also a Torx wrench. Right, now one thing I do like about this Torx wrench is it's got 511 stamped on it. Now it might sound a bit finicky, but you put this down in a toolbox, or you put it down in, my wife puts it in the toolbox out of my way, and you try and find the right one to fit the knife that you need, right? But it's written on this, so there's no mistake in it. Right, the knife itself, right, as 511 call it, it's a multi-purpose tactical stroke utility folder. Right, yeah, I'll go along with that. Right, like I say, it's the Spearpoint blade design. Length of the blade, right, we are looking at 9.5 centimetres, right, or 3.75 inches long, right, and the blade itself is quite a whopping 3.7 millimetres thick, which you can see. Right, and the one thing that I will say about the grind of this knife, and I am particularly finicky with my knives, for a start off, when the back has been ground, there's extra thickness left here down near the tip, right, to give it extra strength. Let me just see if you can see that. Right, you can see the shape of that and the way that it's ground, right? It's very well thought out, right? It's actually designed by Blade Tech, right? So it's got, you know, it's got a good manufacturer behind this, right? It's made out of an Oz 8 steel, right? It's got a liner lock, and believe me, this liner lock, it really is quite a strong one, right? So there's no risk of this just snapping shut on your fingers. It opens ambidextrous thumb stud. Right, if you just push it out a little bit and flicker the wrist and it's out, right, and that is straight out of the box. I've not tried slackening anything off. The actual grind, it's a hollow grind knife, right, with a secondary bevel there, right, which is very nice, right, the way it's been put together. The pocket clip is one of these multi-positional, so you can either have it left hand, right hand carry, or you can spin that round and have it tip up, tip down. Right, you know, really good. Right, you can undo the screws, you can take the scales off. Right, the jimping on the back of the blade, the actual size of the handle, right, the way that it fits is really lovely. Right, now I've got a big hand and that fits really well. The jimping's good quality, it's not sharp and rough, but it's very, very grippy. Right, there's more jimping on the back, right, of the knife on the butt end, which I've got to say, even if you're carrying this in your hand that way around, which it absolutely oozes of the design to be done, the finger grooves still work well. It's like a scalloped edge, so there's nothing really digging in there, right? But you also get the jimping on the back to give a grip on your thumb. Got that? Good. Apart from mentioning the actual coating on the blade, which I've got to be brutally honest with you, I don't know what it is. 511 don't say what it is, but what I can say is it's like it's either a bead or a sandblasted finish. Right, I don't know if you can see that clearly, or it's some sort of coating that's on there. But what I can say is that it is incredibly robust. Like I said at the opening of this, I haven't managed to scratch it, right, which makes me wonder whether it is just whether it's a bead or sandblasted finish rather than the coating of such. There's another 2 knives in this series, and I've got to be perfectly honest with you, I haven't got them, but I will have them soon. Right, it's mainly going to be the Tanto blade that I'm going to go for. Purely and simply because I like it. Right, and after looking at the quality of this, right, I'm very taken by it. And when you look at the price of this, I'm not going to say the prices here in the UK because they vary, right, but when you look at the recommended retail price of this, it's an exceptional knife for the price. One thing I did forget to mention, I will mention this because I find this very important in a knife. Bearing in mind how easy this opens, there is no sideward play in that blade at all. I've not taken this apart, I won't take it apart. I don't know if there's a bearing in there that allows it to move so smoothly and easily, right, but it certainly does, and to have no sideward play in it, right, does make me wonder if there is. I don't know, I'm not saying there is, please don't hold me to that comment, it's just a personal observation and a personal curiosity. Right, one other tiny little thing, it's a skeletonized handle, so there's no danger of getting it all bunged up with fluff and muck, and depending on what you use it for, blood and bits. Right, but all in all, an absolutely stunning knife. Right, very, very impressed. Not a lot more to say. Forgot one thing. It has a lanyard tube, just in case that is important to you. Right, if you're new to Milk It Reviews, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't benefit me anymore other than the fact that you will get the updates as and when new videos are released. That's the only thing that benefits me. I'm not making money out of this, I don't get paid by anyone. Right, I don't even allow the third-party advertising because I don't like the idea of it, boring new people to bits. Before you can get to watch what you really want to watch, you've got to watch somebody's holidaying wherever it is. Right, so thanks for watching. Any questions, please drop me a line. Bye-bye.